I tell you what, there was good effort. I like the guys hustling, and we're a thin football team right now. Like I told them after practice, I don't care that we're thin. We got to put ourselves in situations of being tired, put ourselves in the fourth quarter. Thought a couple of guys did that today. You know, on the flip side, we got a long way to go. A long way to go. We're not even close to being where we need to be, but that's okay. That's why you practice. That's why you coach. We got to do a great job coaching. Guys got to do a great job taking coaching, and guys got to come with the right mindset every single day to get better if we're going to come close to being a functional football team. Because, you know, spring ball, got to have patience. I think I got patience right now, but long way to go. But good effort today, and I'm sure when I watch the film, you know, there'll be some things that I saw that was an improvement from Monday night. I hope. Thought I saw a couple. For one, we completed a couple balls where we didn't complete any Monday. So, but I like the defense's effort. I like there's no loafing. I hear guys talking to each other out there. I hear them communicating from safety to backer, safety to corner. So I like what I see right now. But again, we're in shorts and helmet as we progress and things get tougher. We'll see how our football team responds. Because it's easy to come out the first couple of days and practice hard and do a few things right, but that's what we should do every day, practice hard.
Does this camp take you back almost to your first year because you have so little that's set position-wise, you have a new defense, and even some guys you expect will be starters next year aren't practicing?
Yeah, it's very similar, you know, to being a first time with a new coaching staff, because that was one of the notes that I wrote down is we got to learn where we're going next as coaches. You know, we got to know what drill's going and we got to be moving ahead of, you know, we're kind of trying to figure it out as coaches a little bit too, where we're going and what drill we're in. And, you know, so we got to get on the same page where we're moving faster mentally than the players about where we're heading next and set the drill. But, you know, those sort of things. But, you know, we're very basic right now, offense and defense. You know, I don't want to talk about the adjustment as an offense or defense or even a special team right now. I want fundamentals and, you know, our technique of doing what they're supposed to do on every single play. Yeah, there's adjustment. I mean, there might be things that aren't perfect, but let's don't chase a lot of ghosts right now. Let's line up and let's get guys where they can gain a little confidence by getting better. You start adding adjustments and things, then you start confusing guys. So it's real basic. Well, that's okay. If we'll practice hard and get better every day, then we'll have a chance to be pretty good.
Well, like you said, it's got to be different from last year's spring. I know all spring, every spring, you say it's about fundamental basics, but there are also some springs where you try to advance the team because you have a lot back.
To kind of everything is about what you can comprehend as a unit, how much you install. Just this spring's installation offensively is way different than last year's. I mean, there was so much offense in on day one because I went back and compared and watched, you know, really the first 2 days of spring practice the last 2 years and the first day of the one the other day, and one to compare effort and guys running and body types and things like that, but then noticing how much we had in offensively, where we don't have a lot in offensively right now. And then defensively, obviously, is very basic because it's a new staff, and it was basic last spring too, a little bit.
Are there some springs though where you feel like when you come out of it, you have an idea of what your identity is?
Oh yeah, no question.
No expectation like that this year.
No, we're trying to find an identity of a football team and who we're going to be, what kind of offense we're going to be, what kind of defense, and you know who the leaders, you know, that on our football team are. So you're always trying to find an identity, but you know you're getting you're going to make an educated guess, you know, as spring goes and after, and know that you're going to have more guys that could change some things, but you know. You're trying to get a base of it. Will that identity be formed through spring? I don't know.
Mike, obviously it's early, but from the quarterbacks and all, are you seeing JC at least do the things you were hoping to do as a returning guy and maybe hopefully?
Well, I'll say this. You see a guy that understands our offense, can spit out the verbiage, is taking command with the line of scrimmage and the backs and the tight ends. With signals and telling them to play, getting us in the right play. Again, it's got to be more consistent. I thought today was a better day than Monday, but obviously I think he's ahead in knowing what to do and where he should go. Now he's got to process it when the ball snapped, and he's got to execute it. And then Justice, I think, knows, not to the extent JC does, but is not verbalizing it the way that I want him to right now. But I did see improvement with JC, and then we've only installed two days of a limited package offensively, so there's a lot of things that you're going to run that it's really not the best thing to run, and you don't have a high success rate, but it's more about hearing the play, lining up, identifying the front, executing, running the right route, not trying to scheme and win, if that makes sense.
Coach, you said throughout all last year that BC Johnson was a leader for you. With so much inexperience right now, is that leadership a little bit different this spring, and how have you seen it?
Well, he's always had leadership qualities. I don't want to say lead by example. He's had leadership qualities because guys respect him and he has influence. I think he's taken that next step of being vocal and challenging guys or encouraging guys and speaking up. You hear him do that. He did that with his position group a little bit more, but now I can hear him do it with the whole team. Like when we have a little minute before we're about to start the next period and we're in the huddle, I hear him talking, in the huddle and kind of setting the tone. And, you'd like for your quarterback to be doing that, but they're trying to figure out which way is right and left right now. But I see BC doing things like that. He's had leadership quality since he's been here. It's taken that next step and taking advantage of his influence, because I believe his influence is positive on our football team.
Monday you said on defense that Trey Thomas and Josh Washington was going to.
Yeah, you turn on the film, and I saw Trey Thomas, just taking steps to be a leader because of his effort and how hard he was running. Josh is vocal. Josh he had to pick it up a little bit today of not giving the effort that Coach Janzik and Coach Gibson wanted on defense. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the standard that they set of sprinting to the ball. And it's becoming contagious on defense right now. It's only 2 days, but we need to keep that up. But those two guys have that. Out of that group, those two guys have the influence, in my opinion.
Jansen joked when we first met him, I think signing day, that even though he didn't have a position to coach, he'd have plenty to do. We've seen him bounce around positions. He said he'd guarantee you he'd have plenty to do. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I'm joking about to him all the time about walking around. But he takes the nickels, and he's working with the nickels. And then he was taking the weak side defensive ends today, and he was working with them. And then he runs all the team periods and their teach periods. But I like the way it's set up on defense. I think they're all on the same page, doing a good job, and Janzik's leading that.
Is that especially beneficial with everything being new, so that he can go around and make sure?
Yeah.
Coaches are giving the message.
That's right. You want to hear the message that's coming from your coaches, and you want to see, this is what I talked about in the meeting room. This is what I want installed, or in the staff room. This is what I want installed in the meeting room. Now, our defense, he installs as a full defense every day, and then they break up. So the message is coming from him, and then the finer points of playing that position fundamentally, the position coaches go over. But they all talk about the defense and how he wants it played in the staff meeting. Then he talks about it, then the coaches talk about it, and then they go out and do it at all the drills. So he's walking around and hopefully, they're echoing everything that was said in the staff. Because you want one message. You want the same message, the same technique. There's a lot of different terms that people use for different things. There's coaches, there's 5 different coaches that played or coached at different institutions. Now, Gibson and Janzik were together, so their terminology, I think they're on the same page. But Eric and Gilmore and Hilo, they might talk about how you weave to cover 2 a little bit different, but they all want to say it the same way.
You talked about JC's athleticism, I think, after the first press conference there. Being a 6'5" guy, you sort of just assume he's more of a pro-style quarterback. He was like an elite high jumper in high school. How does that manifest itself at that position when you have that kind of athleticism?
Well, it allows him to make plays outside the pocket. It allows you to have some quarterback run game that you see a lot of schools using. I've done some of that over the years, but I haven't had a lot of those quarterbacks extend plays with his legs. Be a threat when he breaks contain. And then you got to always be careful how much a guy like that can carry it. game if you go to that style of offense because, he's 6'5", he's about 230, 225, 230. Them guys that do it over and over, they're 245, 250 playing that position. But I think he can give you a threat of being a running quarterback that guys gotta account for.
Even early in camp here, he's figuring out everything you mentioned, but have you seen flashes of that where maybe he can just let his athleticism?
Well, to be totally honest, it's so tough to tell when you're in shorts because you're fitting up and nobody's really finishing a block trying to stay up. So it's a quick whistle. So it's tough to tell that. He's in orange, so guys run. So in shorts, it's probably tough to tell. I think in more team situations when we get, full speed, not necessarily tackling, but full speed, and we got pads on, you'll be able to see a little bit more.
Position switch question. Is Braylon a corner now? Because I saw him
Oh,
working with them.
Braylon is working at corner right now, field and boundary. And Braylon has the ability to play both, but we were thin at corner, and we're even thinner now. I was going to announce this at the end, but Robert Allegheny is no longer on the football team. He's decided to transfer.
Mike, I think this is something you addressed after signing day, but with the new state law that removes the cap on multi-year contracts for employees, I know that gives your coordinators some extended contracts we didn't have before. You maybe can't talk about those contracts specifically, but what does that mean for your team to have that availability? Because I know at CU they're really excited because they feel that they can retain coaches and attract coaches maybe a little bit better than they did before. For you, is it a dynamic change for this program?
No, I know most definitely. Obviously you're able to attract coaches. To Fort Collins, a great city, and what we've done here, and the commitment to athletics is a selling point. But you're always looking for security, and to be able to offer the two coordinators multi-year contracts, has been a big plus, and that's always big in recruiting. When you could talk to a kid about his coach is under contract for 2 years, he's planning on being here.
When you look across the country, it seems like assistant coaching contracts have really exploded in the last decade. I mean, guys making multi-million dollars. What do you make of that? Is that just sort of the arms race that we've seen in college sports? Do you see that trend changing at any point?
I don't know. I think at some point it would slow down, of what's going on. But, and when coach, it's the market. I mean, the bottom line is the market. It's the market of that's out there in college athletics and in football. And, it's demand. If you've got people that want you at X school, you're in more demand. You've got a chance, to further yourself at one institution, and people are trying to tie them in with contracts, so guys are not moving as much.
Have you been able to follow your day 1 to day 2 install, day 3?
I can't answer that question yet, but we did go from day 1 to day 2, offense and defensively. Special teams, we went over punt again. We kind of slowed down a little bit with special teams and went back and did our day 1 punt install and progressed to punt return. So half punt return, where I think it was going to be all punt return, and we went back to half punt. So we slowed down there. We'll watch the film tonight and then meet up with the guys in the morning because we do morning meetings on the off days so they can have lifting in the afternoon and around their classes. Tomorrow we won't lift. We're going to take the team to the Unity March that's on campus and go be a part of that. But, so tomorrow morning we'll watch film tonight. We'll go over corrections, and then as a staff tomorrow afternoon we'll decide what the install is for day 3.
Mike, one more note on assistants. With that rise in salaries, for you to get more in that assistant coaching pools with your contract extension, the extra money there, that commitment from the university to fund that's important.
To be honest, that was the most important thing for me. Obviously it was, being extended and the commitment the university had in me, and to make it extended to 5 years, which was great. But the number one thing that I wanted was to have more money in the pool, to have better chance to attract more coaches because what's going on out there.